Rocky, your first competition in over a year last weekend. How do you feel? How'd that go for you? After it was over?
Yeah, I felt great. It felt great to compete. It certainly felt like just natural to be out there. I got that feeling again where I was in the fire, and that's really what I've been craving for a really long time. So I'm really thankful to have just stepped out there and have the experience, and it was a really positive experience. I think one thing I noted kind of in my head was that it was really cool to be around my teammates and to see how positive they were just for everybody else's experience, everybody else being out there on the mat. I had guys come up to me and making comments about my performance, and that's just a really cool thing to do. I feel like I kind of feed off of that when guys are whether it's areas I can improve in or compliments or whatever. Of course, Dresser was saying stuff and giving me feedback as well, but my teammates were doing that too, and it was really just fun to compete with my teammates.
What was your first impression of Hilton Coliseum?
It was good. I'd say second impression. I wrestled there one time, but it's first impression as a wrestler for Iowa State. But it was really cool. It was it's a tournament, so tournament settings I feel like are a little different than duels. I think we'll get a good crowd for some duels, but it was great to see still some Cyclone fans there for the finals and stuff like that. And it got pretty hyped towards the end, especially like with Younger's match. So that was pretty cool to experience. But yeah, it was cool. I just I felt the energy, and my parents got to come out and watch me, so it was really cool just to put on the AIM singlet and wrestle in it for the first time.
What do you remember about the last time you wrestled in Hilton, wearing a different color singlet, and then how do you think that's going to contrast Saturday or Friday in front of the home crowd?
Yeah, it's last time I wrestled in Hilton, it was the COVID year, so there wasn't many fans in the stands, and I remember it was definitely unique. It was my first time wrestling there, but I had been there for duels where I wasn't competing, and I realized how loud it was and how much energy was in Hilton. So my first experience wrestling there will definitely be different. Wrestling this year in Hilton, just because of the fact that it was the COVID year and I'm on the team now, so I'm really excited. Dresser's telling me we'll get such and such 1,000 fans for this duel, and then I'm like, man, that's like a record for me for like a home duel. Like I haven't wrestled in a home duel with that many fans, or that many people in one arena on your side, so it's going to be really interesting.
What is the scouting going in your Nebraska Carries bringing the number one ranked 197 in D2 here? What has your preparation been like scouting wise on your opponent this week?
Appreciate that question, but I haven't. I probably won't wrestle this weekend for the Nebraska Carney duel. We're just probably going to look towards the Cyhawk duel and just getting ready for that. So I probably won't be the guy this Friday, but of course we'll continue training. No issues with health or anything. Just a preventative measure and just getting ready for Iowa. So.
How is your body feeling, and how has Iowa State staff really made an impact in your training?
It's been great. Like I said, I think the coaching staff is very cooperative, and that's one thing I told them I needed from the jump, and they've upheld that. And that's one thing is I feel like I can communicate and kind of just it doesn't have to. It's never like I'm never trying to be selfish with anything. It's all for the needs of my body. It's all for the best intention of, hey, how can I be prepared for this upcoming duel? So just working with me on some of those things, just based on how my body's feeling, and sometimes it's sometimes it's one of those things where I have a plan for the week on Monday, and then that might change on Wednesday just based on how my body's feeling, or it might not. We might get the week as we wanted it on Monday. So it's been good to work with them and be able to really adapt.
How exciting is it to be in the state of Iowa where, the history of wrestling and the fans, there's just so much, just a little bigger than in other states. I mean, what's it been like to experience that type of fandom? And I mean, just the idea, like you said, the Cyhawk duel will be probably filled to the brim. How exciting is it to be around this type of culture?
It's so cool. I was really looking forward when I first committed to Iowa State, thinking about the tradition, thinking about the robes that we get to wear, thinking about all the great athletes that have come through this university and done so well. I've had coaches even from that wrestled at this university. I wrestled under Kevin Jackson for a year or two at the Olympic Training Center, and he was here, and then getting to wrestle, of course, under Coach Dresser, who is a great athlete in the state of Iowa and from Iowa. I just know it's such a rich tradition here, and I go out and even Nate Carr, who's one of our RTC coaches, I get to work with him, and so it's cool to wrestle with in a program with such a history and realize I can be a part of it. I had one of my high school coaches reach out to me the other day and he said something like, the Iowa State tradition is very rich, and you have an opportunity to be a part of that. And I really took that to heart, and it made me ponder on what I needed to do to be a part of that. And I think the things I can do to be a part of that, or the most prevalent, is the Iowa duel and of course the postseason. So those are the things that I'm always keeping kind of at the center of my mind in my preparation.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.